on this episode of Podigious.
I don't trust him, and I certainly don't need his help.
I wanna run. I wanna keep on a-running.
That train's not a train. It's a Digimon.
I want to sing.
You what?
How could you promise you always would be there? Why'd you have to go away somewhere?
I feel like this movie isn't about anything. It's not about anyone in particular.
It's about trains, Ash.
It's not even about the train.
Your password. You can use mine to get on the internet.
Podigious.
Welcome to Podigious, episode 314, Do the Locomotion.
Tamers movie 2.
Is this how it ends? Messing with motivations and Parasimon Potential.
Leaving the station August 28th, 2016.
Cute.
Does it actually leave the station? I guess it leaves the station on August 28th and arrives at the other station whenever it gets released.
Yeah.
Podigious is your critically nostalgic, analytical train podcast through the Digimon train universe. I'm your conductor, Jeff Ruberg, and I'm joined by our engineer, Ashley McDonald.
I want to run. I want to keep on running.
Our train ticket keeper, ticket taker? Our ticket taker, Andrew Softman.
Trains.
Is that like zombies saying brains? But a train family. Trains. I need trains. And the owner of the cat that takes care of the rats, which is apparently a thing on trains, supposedly, Asher Softman. What?
This podcast is already way off the rails, because you know what, this movie's off the rails. So
Are we loco off the rails?
We've been derailed.
I think this movie is actually on the rails.
Really?
Yeah.
No. False.
Anyway, okay. This week we're looking at the second Tamers movie, Runaway Locomon, aka Digimon Frontier Focus Test.
Rika is mad at everyone for throwing a birthday party in a Digimon movie without Kari.
The Tokyo public transit system goes loco, and Rika is reminded of her absentee father once she meets a soul-sucking parasite.
In the end, everyone joins up for some good, old-fashioned parasite eyeball hunting.
Okay, so our general impressions of this movie. I'll start off, and then everyone can jump in with their thoughts. I thought it was a fun mix of fan service moments, early season nostalgia, like nostalgia for stuff from the beginning of the season, like card slashes and Hypnos and stuff, and a attempt, not necessarily a successful attempt, but an attempt to expand on Rika, which I appreciated. And in general, I thought there was lots of stuff flying by. It was going at a really fast pace, and despite that, it felt surprisingly competent for that. So, what does everyone else think?
I thought it was better than the first movie, and still a hot mess.
Yes. I was like, this is entertaining. You didn't try to introduce new characters that I don't care about. You stuck with all the regular characters, and that's nice. This still doesn't make any sense, but fine.
Yeah.
You made Rika sing, which is super strange.
It was strange, but she pulled it off very well.
Ooh, young Rika singing, I was like, And then older Rika started singing, and I was like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, older Rika. Yes, I was not talking about baby Rika.
Baby Rika, don't sing. Just stop.
It's the same person. Pretty sure it's the same actress.
Probably.
Yeah, so they told her to just sing bad the first time, then sing okay the second time.
But yeah, also I felt like the first movie, this was also somehow a condensed Digimon Tamers again.
What, you mean compressed the whole season?
Yeah, it's like basically a compressed Digimon Tamers.
In what way is it a compression of the whole series?
Digimon invade, girl has issues, gets possessed by monster, final battle, everything is good.
All right, but you could say that about a lot of stories.
Yeah.
True, but it's the same thing again, except better in trains.
Okay, yeah, I think it's a bit of a stretch to say it's Tamers compressed. I think it definitely has that same pattern of girl in distress, needs to be saved.
Has father issues for some apparent reason.
Yeah, father issues weren't really present in the first movie.
Her dad's the one that made the thing.
I guess she was mad at him-ish from trying to replace the dog, but it wasn't like...
It wasn't about him. It was about the dog.
And dogs are really like your fathers, right?
What?
I was trying to make a stretch of a point. That wasn't a real point. I think there definitely is a frustrating trend with making the girl characters need to be saved I also just found it frustrating in this movie how much I appreciate they tried to shed more light on Rika. And looking back on it before we rewatched it, I kind of remembered it as being quote unquote Rika's movie.
Nope, it's Staccatos.
No.
I still don't know. Like, I still feel like they tried to make it Rika's movie, but didn't, because of they didn't want to mess with the mechanics of like introducing a new Digivolution or something for her. So it's still like Takato's still the victorious one in the end, and like still centers on him to lead the plot initially and stuff.
I don't know. I definitely think it's Rika's movie, or it definitely wants to be. Mm-hmm. Your lasting impression of it is that it's Rika's movie, but like you come back to it and you're just like, Rika, you didn't get to do the cool things. And I'm just so sick of girls getting possessed and saving and just shut up, Tamers, shut up.
Yep.
It's my feelings.
Here.
You had 2 girls and you introduced a 3rd girl and then she sucked even more. Anyway.
You're talking about the first movie? What do you...
The Tamers. Are we talking about Alice or Minami?
No, I was talking about Minami.
See, like, the technical 3rd girl that isn't even memorable.
I mean, technically, I guess there are a total of 5 girls then, if we count Susie.
Oh, I totally forgot about
She's
Susie.
also terrible.
Wait, who are the 5 girls?
How is this confusing to you, Andrew? They're Jerry, Rika,
Susie, Minami, Alice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Well, it's tough because none of them are actually featured in like the core team. Like Rika's the only one that's like in all the imagery that comes to mind when you think of Tamers.
Yeah.
That's why the only 2 girls that actually matter are Jerry and Rika.
Yeah.
And they are shown together sometimes.
I mean, even Jerry isn't in any of the like promotional artwork for the season and stuff. Yeah. So I think this movie, like, its strength is really not in character development. So like that stuff that it tries to do with character development is like, okay, whatever. And yeah, but where its strength is just like rapidly flying by with lots of cute moments that a lot of them felt like they were like kind of like our stray bits section, like moments they wanted to have with characters doing funny things and like things that animators may have thought of during the course of the season and been like, oh, well, that would have been a good moment to do. Okay, let's like, my speculation is just that they kind of made a movie from all those moments pulled together, but who knows? Maybe they were just like, well, this is our last chance to get those things in, so let's write them in. I don't know.
Give me an example.
So there's stuff like, so this is my favorite moment, but it's the Henry taking Lopmon by accident, and then be like, Kappa took the wrong one. And then,
really? That was your favorite moment?
I mean, it's just so ridiculous.
It was such a stupid reason for Henry not to be fighting. I was like, there are so many either stupid reasons or unstated reasons, like, or non-reasons for things not to be happening in this movie. I was just like so annoyed. Could have been even shorter than 30 minutes. Why didn't any of them biomerge in the first place?
Because they didn't realize it was a Digimon.
That's just never...
Well, not all the way back in the first place, but Locomon was an ultimate, and like, if they biomerged, they would have been megas, and why don't they ever just do that?
Well, because
why don't they ever
do that?
Overpower the enemy? Oh my god.
Anyway, that's this question. Other moments like that, there's like, it's when Terriermon or Lopmon are going down the escalator, and like, Terriermon, like, or one of, I can't remember which order, but one of them bumps into the other one, and then like, I think Lopmon just has their like ear on the escalator thing, and like keeps going up, and like it would do what would happen if you had something sitting on the escalator. Anyway, little cute things like that. There's the moment at the party where Guillemon goes to take a piece of bread, and Impmon snatches out from him, and Guillemon just bites his hand.
Good.
Wait, good? Like, you want Guillemon to suffer?
Oh, wait. I thought Guillemon bit Impmon.
No, he bit his hand.
Guillemon had something in his hand. Impmon took it, and then Guillemon bit his own hand. Oh,
Yeah.
you thought
That's
like
sadness. I thought he bit Impmon's
No.
hand and the
No.
bread with it.
Nope.
I wasn't paying very much attention to the party.
Well, it was kind of hard to see with the quality.
Yeah.
yeah. I think there's a lot that passes by quickly in this movie that you like there were things in the beginning where I was like, how does everyone know there's a train? How does everyone know what the situation? Like characters will meet and they'd be like, oh yeah, I know about the train thing. I'm like, how did you know? And I feel like they actually were explained. I just missed it. You know?
I'm not sure they were.
I don't think Kazu and Kenta... Like, the train goes by really quickly by Rika, and then she's just like, I'm just gonna chase it. And I'm like, why? What are you doing?
And, like...
It's obviously Digimon.
Henry knowing anything was sort of confusing, because, like, I get that he had to walk back because there was train trouble on his end, but, like, why did he know there was, like, the kind of problem that would require Digimon?
I guess my point is that there were a bunch of like quick flashes introducing, like showing the characters. I think they're showing them becoming aware of what's going on, but it's like really quick. And I just have the impression that going back and pouring over this movie, things have become more clear. That might not actually be true, or those kind of questions would become solidified or clarified.
Maybe.
Whereas just comparing to the impression I get from watching other Digimon movies where it's like, there's no amount of pouring over again that's going to make any more sense of it. It's just sloppy. Whereas this felt like it was sloppy because it was fast-paced, which I think is also a testament to I think that is a really fitting pace for a movie about a runaway train to itself be runaway and to be just packed with all this stuff, and it's like the messiness comes from just being too fast and too scattered, and I don't know, that's at least fitting, regardless of whether that makes it good or not. At least appreciate how it fits the theme. Okay, let's go to favorite characters. Ashley, who's your favorite character in this movie?
Rika. Always, forever Rika. I like when she, in the beginning, where she just, rolls down the grassy hill or whatever, she just, slides down it and is running, and Renamon's like, what are you gonna do when you get to the train? Rika's like, I don't know, I'm just gonna jump on and figure it out. Yes.
Actually, what I don't understand about that scene is why wasn't Rika riding Cubimon or something?
Yeah, Cubimon was absent the entire movie, weren't they? Yeah, that was strange.
You ask many questions that don't...
Especially if she jumped onto the train, which could have, killed her.
I mean, okay, in the Japanese, she actually calls out for Renamon when she jumps. Like, yes, Renamon, please catch me, and we're going to jump on the train together. In the English, she's just like, I just jump on the train. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's dangerous. You're 10.
Yeah.
That's literally that's one of the most dangerous things she's ever done, and that's saying something.
I do feel like they, especially with having Beelzemon riding alongside in his motorcycle, that they wanted to fit that in because it was like, oh, well, he has a thing that can ride along a train, so let's put that in there. So yeah,
okay,
I'm
but
surprised.
That was all just so funny because he's like, I'm going to shoot it, and then he gets taken out immediately. It's just done.
Well, sure, I guess my point is that it's strange to see that and not Cubimon, because Cubimon also seems like a similar category of wouldn't that be a natural fit to have them run alongside? But okay, sure, whatever.
Oh, it's way more fun to have Rika jump on the train.
Ash, who's your favorite character?
Rio.
Yeah, I love that guy. When he just comes in like a hero out of nowhere. Yeah, you can tell how much work they put in to integrate him into the movie.
He's never mentioned once until that point.
Right.
At least in the dub.
Good Rio.
I like to believe that the writers just think of him as a running joke. And the fact that he doesn't fit into anything ever. No, I think my favorite character was... I feel like none of them actually had enough screen time to get a real solid grasp of anything. I'm gonna have to say Henry, just because it was fun watching him be Henry and everyone pile up on him when he offers his sister a piggyback ride. Everybody gets a piggyback ride. Except
that was a funny moment.
Yeah.
And Andrew?
Riley's younger twin sister, who took over for her job for that day.
Did she sound different or look different or something?
She sounded completely different.
That's it. It's Cody's VA.
Yeah.
Sounded real different.
So it's Riley's younger twin sister who happened to be working that day because Riley decided to take a vacation for once and get away from Yamaki.
I mean, you really shouldn't date your boss, so that's probably good for her.
Yeah. True facts.
Okay, one of the things in the original version that makes way more sense than what happened in the English was when Rika is like, I don't trust Yamaki. I'm like, why? Where does this come from?
Yeah, I figured that would be explained more in the original.
But in the Japanese, she doesn't say that she doesn't trust Yamaki. She says she doesn't trust grown-ups, where I'm like, okay, that makes way more sense and goes with like her dad leaving and stuff. I'm like, all right, that's where that comes from. Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, this is something I realized I didn't actually look at the like dub sub differences stuff because I didn't realize it existed, but then I just remembered it did. Anyway, so I'm looking at it now, and I didn't realize that when this movie premiered in Japan was not after the series. So
it would have been like right at the end, though, right?
It was near. So when I'm looking up the
yeah, like the last few weeks of the TV series,
but it wasn't over yet. So the last episode aired on March 31st, and this one, the movie, aired on March 2nd. So it was between 46 and 47. It was actually right after Justimon appeared, which is
but it's before Crimson Mode, so this is the first time people saw Crimson Mode.
That's true.
That sucks.
The same thing happens in the Savers movie. That was the first time we saw Burst Mode. I think. Yeah, that was the first time.
You guys, I have a confession to make, and it's that I like Crimson Mode better than normal Gallantmon. I know you guys disagreed with that last time.
I thought you said that last time, that you thought
no.
the other way.
What?
Okay, it's not much of a confession.
Yeah, I thought you said that you liked regular mode better than Crimson Mode.
I said I liked regular mode better than Crimson Mode. But I think Crimson Mode looked better in this one. And
then all of you, I thought, agreed with Asher.
I thought you agreed too, like in the end.
But it was a lie.
Take it
I like Crimson Mode.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, don't peer pressure me, guys.
My favorite character is Rika. I mean, I think she's the one that gets any character focus, so it's like there is the most stuff of her to appreciate. But as I said before, this movie's strength is really not character development, so it's not very well done character development. So I look back and I'm like, I hesitated for a while. I was like, I should pick someone else. I should reward someone else for their actual, character moments shown. And I was like, I guess no one really gets a spotlight, so I guess it's Rika. And
you could have picked Takato.
I don't think he just is like there trying to solve things.
Yeah, it didn't even, none of them really felt completely present in this movie. And I didn't pick Rika because she's like possessed for half the movie.
And that's saying a lot because the movie is only 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
She's possessed, but she gets flashbacks or whatever dream
Yeah,
sequencey thing while she's possessed.
Find those particularly compelling. Like, the flashbacks were okay. I didn't like the whole, I want to sing. I feel like it was probably originally just a sort of, we want Rika's voice actress to sing, so we're gonna make this random movie about her singing with her dad. Like, I didn't feel it.
The only reason that I'm like, I partially accept this Rika's dad being problem sadness thing now is because Rika had that one line in episode like 46 or something where she's like, my dad is still around. I could see him, but I just don't. And I'm like, all right, like the series at one point like acknowledged
right.
a father. Like,
I don't think like the series, if the series hadn't done that, I don't think that would make this invalid or anything. Like, I think it doesn't. It
just doesn't feel real.
Well, it wasn't quite real. It was in her mind. I was very confused, actually. So they like heard her singing, like she did sing out loud.
That made no sense.
But that never happened.
Yeah, I was like, but when? That didn't make any sense.
The singing that we as an audience hear is when she's in a dream sequence, and they do not. And then they show her outside the dream sequence, and she just seems to be possessed, not saying anything. Okay, that makes sense. But then later they talk about her having sung, and I'm like, I think Renneman does it, and I think Takato tells other people about how she did it, and it's just like this didn't make sense. We didn't see her in the real world singing. Yeah, it doesn't. No. And
for the record, it is the same in the original, from what I remember.
I do appreciate though that like we see this glimpse into her, the way she feels about her dad, and it's not tied up in a bow. It's not like, and they invited him to the party and he's there and everything's okay. It's like she's still sad about the end. She's still singing a little bit and she's still so sad. And at least appreciate that they didn't feel the need to, we can only present these issues if they're wrapped up in a bow. They were able to present it without it betraying that.
Sure. Yes. I'll agree.
It doesn't like make up for all the other frustrations with it, and it comes out of nowhere. There's like I can like kind of connect some dots and say that she started thinking of her father because of the birthday party, and like maybe that's why she doesn't like surprises. For there must be like some like maybe birthday parties or something that her father.
Are people leave you.
That seems like more of a stretch. I was thinking maybe like her father. She has memories of her father at a birthday party or something, and tied with surprises that could trigger that. But it's just weird that's not spelled out ever, and it's just like, oh yeah, where's on the topic of my father now? Okay, sure, but yeah.
There's a movie.
ビガビガビガスティーは夢見ることが全て始まりそれが答えだろう誰より遠くへ飛んでみせるよ全ての明日を貫いて
And now on to our first topic, which is a listener-submitted topic from friend of the show and Patreon Sam Kriwagamon. And their prompt was this.
This movie is set several months after the events of the series. The Digimon have returned with no explanation given. My questions are, what does everyone think happened after the ending of Tamers? Is there somewhere better in the timeline this movie could have fit? How does this movie impact the ending of Tamers? Does it make it better or worse?
I know this is a topic that comes up a lot because it can't be a Digimon movie without discussions of canonicity. And
of course.
So, but I feel like watching this, that it felt pretty clear cut actually that it was canonical.
Really?
And that it was set, that it's set after the end of the series, and that there is stuff that happened between the series and this that is never explained, but that it's not out of the realm of possibility to draw a connection between the two. Whose side was that?
That was me. My problem is that, okay, the end of Tamers implies that they can go to the digital world and they can see the Digimon again. Fine. Eventually, whenever Takato finds the hole.
No, I mean,
I don't know how long after that is.
I mean, I guess there's the question of how much time passes between the like what we remember the tear-jerking scene and the very last scene where he finds the hole. But I also assume that there was time between. It's not like he finds the hole and then is immediately like, and we're there, we found a way. And I assume there's time required to actually. That just is like the door slightly ajar, but not fully open. Anyway, as you're saying.
Okay. I guess if the implication is that the kids do not go to the digital world after finding that door, they rather just find a way to bring their Digimon into the world and have them live there, then it makes sense to me. But the implication to me was that the kids would go to the digital world, and then I don't understand the drama around who cares if Rika and Takato go to the digital world with Locomon.
Yeah, right?
They can come back.
I was like, if the Digimon are here, clearly they can find a way back. They did it before. They never had an exit strategy when they went to the digital world in the first place.
They did it before, but there were like 10 plus episodes of the parents parents trying to figure out a way to get them back. Like it wasn't a clear cut thing. It was like, it took a lot of effort and
Sure, but at least it's possible. It's not like they're gonna die if they go.
And I didn't get the impression from those stakes that were presented as they're like worrying about getting sucked into the digital world, they would be stuck there forever or die or whatever. I just got the impression that it was like it would be really hard to get back.
They can handle it. They saved the world. Whatever.
It would be inconvenient. You'd lose like months of school time. That's really what it's about.
For me, the thing that sort of took me out of wanting to believe this movie was canon is the way that everyone seems in that city seems to have forgotten that their city got eaten by a blob.
Yeah, was everything reconstructed again? Because I just can't believe that. I just don't accept it.
It's like they forgot what Digimon are.
But nothing was destroyed.
What do you mean nothing was destroyed?
Literally nothing was destroyed when the D Reaper retreated.
What about the pig Deva and like the military blowing stuff up?
So here's what I don't understand. So this isn't just something I've heard from you guys right now. I think I've heard in other places playing out the movie is like, what way would you expect that destruction of like the pig Deva to manifest in this movie? Like, would you expect them to be going through streets and be like, oh yes, these are the streets that were destroyed by the Pig Deva?
No. I would expect the people to, like, I would expect to see some of that damage still in the town, because they're all clearly the same age. They're wearing the same clothes.
Sure, but they're not in the areas of town. They're not, like, in the city streets. They're in, like, train tracks and stuff.
Okay, but also, like, people would still be on edge. There would probably be flyers around. There would be more safety measures. It seemed like the world just reverted completely, and that is just... It felt like this was somebody's fan fiction.
It felt like Rika reverted emotionally.
Yeah, that too.
I just feel like this, like, one of the strongest one of the parallels that comes immediately to mind as someone who lives in the U.S. is New York after 9/11, and it changed after that.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. I was there this summer.
I was there like November after 9/11. And it was like, I mean, sure, things change, obviously, like in the way things change anyway, but I feel like it's not like you go to New York now and you're like, this is like, everyone's different now. Like, it's like still a city. It's still, like... And
no, but it is different now.
I mean, I think it differs in a lot of ways, because it's like that was one building, and also, that building is not the same now.
The culture of America changed after that.
Again, how would you expect that to be manifested in this movie about a runaway train? That's what I don't understand.
Well, why did this movie have to be about a runaway train in the first place? Like,
why are people not afraid of the Digimon?
Yeah, like, why was there not a military response? Why...
I mean, the military, like, to the train now. I assume it was just, like, too fast. Because, I mean, Hypnos was doing stuff, but I imagine they were, like...
Too fast, too furious.
No, why didn't they, like, improve I would improve my military whatevers after something like that if I was in charge of military whatevers.
I guess.
I would have worked with Hypnos to... like, integrate all that crap into my military, since that was happening anyway. Like, where did all those changes go?
So to Andrew's one point about the you
don't have a rebuttal to me.
No, I just want to... his point that, like, the buildings weren't actually destroyed by the monster, by the D-Reaper. I found this one screenshot of them, like, when they're in the park and saying goodbye to Digimon, and it shows the Hypnos towers in the background, and, yeah, there's, like, no damage to them. And that's
weird.
Precure does it all the time. Also, it's cheaper.
I guess.
I mean, it's like what we see of the really destructive buildings are inside the red blob area. So it could be that's like a distorted space that's not actually reflecting reality. That could be it. But yeah, I definitely assume there was destruction, but I also don't see why, like, that destruction not being shown now is such a disparity. Like, because they show them at Shinjuku Station. And it's like, it's not like they showed Shinjuku subway station getting destroyed. They showed other buildings in Shinjuku being destroyed.
Didn't they? Like, Guilmon destroyed part of that subway.
When?
When in the park in the beginning, when the Snake Deva comes, they, like, go through the subway, and Guilmon, like, digs a tunnel, but into a station where you're like, okay, so steps were right there, Guilmon. You didn't have to do that.
Okay, that's one bit of destruction. I don't think... Are you seriously saying that should have been depicted in this movie? That tunnel that Guilmon doing?
You're like, but there wasn't that much destruction. I'm like, but there was, and those things, like, if a whole subway station had to be under construction, that would in some way affect, like, train schedules and things.
I think that was one, minor thing. It wasn't like, okay, that Guilmon digging through the subway, whatever, that was a silly thing that was not put much thought into. And I still think you could reason it with, like, yeah, if this is 5 months later, that could have been fixed in 5 months.
It's not going to be repaired. No.
And also,
that's not true.
They can be, like, working, the trains can be running during the day and in construction at night. Like, I mean, that kind of construction happens.
I think we're providing you with a lot of examples of what could have been done, and you're just like, oh, but this is so small, and not really addressing the sheer number of them.
Yeah.
I think something like, showing damage in the Shinjuku subway that was Guilmon's hole that went through, that would have been like, wait, what? That would have been so confusing. Showing the D-Reaper's destruction, like, buildings that were, like, under construction, that does seem like, there are buildings in the background. It wouldn't be too hard to show. They could have had, like,
I'm willing to believe that D-Reaper did nothing. I am saying that even pre that, though, there were things that were destroyed, and that the military things in fighting the D-Reaper would have destroyed things.
Yeah.
Wait, did the military even hit anything?
They attacked the D-Reaper.
They shot them at the D-Reaper. I don't know if that had much
I mean,
of a,
people
physical bonus
died. People died. Planes crashed, I'm pretty sure.
But, okay, most 99% of these same arguments could be applied to Venomiotismon destroying 99% of Odaiba. And no one calls into question...
Isn't that the whole complaint?
No, actually, no one uses that to say our war game is not canon. We say it as frustrations, and we say, like, oh, this is frustrating, it doesn't connect, or whatever. But think that's never brought up as a reason that it's not canonical.
Yeah.
I think there are less other reasons to believe that our war game is canon.
I mean, because otherwise it ties in pretty well and everything. Yeah.
And also,
That's
like,
true.
I think we have a higher expectation of Tamers, which takes place mostly in the real world. Well, I guess so does Adventure 2. But Adventure just isn't as beholden to reality as Tamers tries to be.
You know what it probably is? Like, any of the destruction happened before the D-Reaper was actually fixed by the D-Reaper.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay.
The D-Reaper cared.
That's what I believe, too.
That was its real purpose. It was like, I'm just trying to help you guys. Don't kill me. I'm gone.
I've been thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure this is common in every single Toei thing ever, because in the original Sailor Moon series, like, huge things kept happening that destroyed, like, part of the city, and then the next episode after they finish it off, it's like nothing happened.
Well, I also don't consider Sailor Moon particularly beholden to reality.
No, but it's like every Toei series, even the new ones, are like that. But at least with, like, Precure, they gave an excuse for it. Like, it magically fixes after the battle.
Well, Juban is special. Also, it's gone. Bye-bye, thought.
I was gonna say it's ironic that Adventure was so like when they depict, I can't remember what it was, is it Diver City or Aqua City? There's two buildings on Odaiba. Actually went to, like, the two malls we went to, and they're in the Tri movies. Anyway, like, one of them is under construction during Adventure, like in the time frame that Adventure set in, and it's where, like, Tai tells Matt to watch Kari, and they're, like, in this back alley kind of thing that's under construction, and it's like it's under construction because the building is under construction in the real world at that time period. So they care enough to, like, put that detail into it and show that being under construction, but not to, like, show the destruction that they've caused and the construction needed to fix that. Which is interesting.
No, it took 15 years for them to address that.
They still, I don't think, ever, like, they showed destruction in Chapter 1, but they never showed repairs in Chapter 2.
Right?
Right? Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I meant thematically.
Right.
Is when they're trying to address that. But they're not doing such a great job holding on to all their different themes.
Nope. They are I'm not going to finish that thought. I'm not going to say try. Yes. So, okay. So we had a long tangent about canonicity. I guess one of the prompts initially was, is there somewhere better in the timeline this movie could have fit?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
It is clearly after everything.
Yeah, because they get the ability to biomerge wrapped up in addressing the D-Reaper, and there's no way this could happen in the middle of the D-Reaper going on.
Right. Although, I wonder if they really needed to biomerge. Like, Parasimon did not need to be a Mega. If he was just an ultimate...
Also, Gardramon was fighting it and seemed to be doing okay.
Did Gardramon need to be there? Like, if they cut back the number of characters they tried to include, maybe we could have had more time for some real character exploration. That would have been nice.
But if it wasn't canon, then it would all be wasted.
Canonicity is a funny thing. I don't think it would have been wasted. I don't know.
But yeah, so this movie really could have been set, like, especially because the fights that happened were in a, like, everyone's fighting, and it's not like a particularly big one-on-one, really strong boss that needs to be taken down by a really strong protagonist thing. It was like mobs kind of thing that would fit for, like, going only to Ultimate or something that could have fit before they go to Digital World, and everything, like. But clearly the goal with this is the last season where they do these 2 movies per season, but clearly the goal in all 3 of the seasons is to have, like, 1 movie set in the middle, 1 movie set at the end. And it confuses me hearing now that this movie didn't actually come out after the series ended, and it came out in the last month of the series airing, because I assumed that what it would be like you finish a series, now here's some more to tide you over for the summer. But so talking more about canonicity, I want to bring up, so I think a common argument laid forth why this movie cannot be canonical is that it contradicts specifically how so we were talking before about what could happen between the end of the series and this season to connect them. Actually, I forgot to mention that there was one thing I noticed. Oh, right. It's that when they're trying to figure out what to do with Locomon, Yamaki, I don't think anything prompts him for this, but he brings up the idea of we can send them back to the digital world. So I was wondering, how does he send them back to the digital world? Is it ever explained? Is there something they find that's like, oh, it left a portal or something? Isn't it just Yamaki saying, I can open a portal to the digital world and send him there?
I thought they were using the weird digital fieldy thing that Locomon was creating by spinning around really fast.
Oh, okay. And that undermines my point. I was
But
going to
they
say
were
that,
like, Locomon is just like making it, but we can send him into it or whatever.
Yeah. And looking back on that, it doesn't really make sense that it's like, so Locomon's plan is to like, go in a circle, which causes the portal to open, which then can bring more Digimon in. But how did Locomon get there in the first place if you need to open the portal in this way? I don't know. That's one of my questions. I'm like, how did Locomon get here? Which goes back to the whole, like, how did the other Digimon get there? The end of Tamers leaves it open that, like, okay, yeah, there is a way for them to go back and forth. So you're like, I don't know, I guess. So the way I view that scene at the end of Tamers is that it is, the seed that there will be some future development, and it's meant to be left unclear what that is and what that mechanism is, if it's just only going one way or the other or whatever and everything. And so I don't think there's a direct contradiction. But what I want to say is that a common argument for this movie not at all being canonical is that it contradicts a drama CD. And I'm going to link to the Digimon wiki page has it's not a translation, it's a summary of the events that happen in the drama CD. Mm-hmm. So I'll link to that in our show notes and also in our Skype. Slack.
I have never actually heard anyone try to claim a drama CD was canon to anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the thing that I'm like... So I think the thing that it contradicts is that, like, in this... When is it set? I think that's a problem. I think it is set at a point... Yeah, it's set after a year, and this movie is set within a year, so less than a year after the end of the series. And in this drama CD, it's set after a year has passed. They reminisce, and they don't have Digimon. So...
But, like, who would consider a drama CD more canonical than a movie? I just don't know, like,
yeah,
in a hierarchy of things that you're, like, gonna look at to be canonical. Why?
I think the problem might be, and I haven't read this, but I'm just looking at the dates now. I think the problem might be the drama CD came out after the movie. The movie came out March 2002, and this drama CD came out in April 2003. So it does feel kind of like a revision. And it also doesn't seem like the kind of drama CD that was like there were 02 drama CDs, I think, that were like totally jokey, and like there are ones there that like totally contradict the canonical nature of 02, the canonical storyline of 02, with things like, I forget what they are, but they're really goofy and weird. And I don't think this is any of that goofy stuff. It's just like, sad reminiscing and stuff.
Wow, this sounds terrible.
The audio drama has Henry suggesting the Tamers try to send audio messages to their partner in a packet. That's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
How would they listen to it?
I assume it's, I don't know, like maybe there would be, I haven't read the summary, so.
So this is basically just fan service.
All drama CDs are fan service.
No, this is like really fan servicey.
I don't see why that's relevant.
And I feel like the line between fan service and things that fans just happen to like a lot is always a weird line. What's what I'm looking for? A thin line between those two. It's like if a show starts getting better because it starts featuring things that fans happen to like, some people are going to claim that's just fan service. It's just pandering to its audience, and it's like, or its audience just likes the stuff that they choose to do.
Yeah, like I don't see what's wrong with fan service applied like that.
Yeah, but okay, so the last point they asked about was, how does this impact the ending of Tamers? Does it make it better or worse? And even though the ending of Tamers leaves it open-ended, I do think all that sadness...
Tamers is crap.
I do think all that sadness is frustratingly undercut by any scenario where it shows them, just happily together, and...
What, you want them to be sad?
I don't know if I want them to be sad.
I want them to be sad.
Well, I know you do.
It's definitely frustrating to see them be sad, and then to just like next time you're showing them, there's like that's just gone, like that's just been forgotten about. Even if it makes sense, but like to not see that reunion as well, and to just be like, it kind of feels like your emotions are just being toyed with. Like it's just sad to be sad, and it doesn't, like they don't actually need to follow those rules. They just even though I lean on the side of this being canonical and everything, I still understand the frustration with it, and that it feels like it's not playing by its rules and everything. So I guess in some sense it would be easier to accept it if I didn't consider it canonical, because it would just be like, this is a fun alternate reality thing that could have happened.
I don't know. I do count the movie as canonical, I think, but it still doesn't feel like they were, like, it feels like they weren't taking into account anything they'd already written, like any developments that had happened to the world or to the characters.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think they took things into consideration. I just don't know if I think they just breezed past. Like, I think the reason they had to have the Digimon back together in the beginning without any explanation, without any of that stuff, was just because, like, I think it would actually be too hard. I think it just, like, shelved that problem. They're like, oh, we'll just not deal with it this time. Like, we'll just go past that quickly and no one will notice, no one will care. And no, people care. So, and it's just like a hard thing to tackle. Like, I was thinking, like, is there just some way they could have been, like, a throwaway line explained that, like, oh, Guillemon, you've only been back for a month. And I feel like it'd be hard to do that without it feeling really forced and awkward and clumsy. So, and I feel like if they do address it, they would need to actually iron down and they would need to actually choose a way that it happened. And the way they set it up now is like, they didn't need to settle on one way in which the Digimon come back, because it's up to your imagination.
Yeah. Don't leave things up to my imagination. Nothing good can come of that.
I only watch things to have my imagination narrowed, not to expand it. How dare you?
How dare you assume otherwise? The only fan fiction I ever wrote was like AU stuff, okay? No, none of this continuation, maybe some alternate reality bullshit.
Wait, really? You only wrote AU?
I believe so, yes.
Huh. Wait, your Hunger Games one was AU?
Okay, I guess that wasn't AU. That was technically in the middle.
Ah, I see. You're lying
For all
to me now.
all my Escaflowne stuff was AU.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Escaflowne wrote AUs of itself, basically.
Yeah, it did.
So the other aspect of canonicity in this movie that I've seen in the fan base a lot is the argument that Kanaka didn't write this, and he wrote the series. Therefore, this is not canon.
Oh, that's a silly reason.
I think we should at least expand on why it's silly. And I think the short answer is just like, this series is not the creative work of one person.
Yeah.
The Digimon anime is a thing made of lots of people, and it's not like one person, it's not like a single author. And yeah, inevitably there are different creative visions and things. And just because he was the thing tying together the series doesn't mean this penned by someone else is totally different. And the discussion of Kanaka's thoughts in the movie, I think, comes up a lot because he, in his notes for Rika, which we'll get to later, I think we'll get to it later, he spells out how, like, he didn't plan this development with Rika's father or anything. So they're like, oh, well, it wasn't in his vision, so, like, therefore, Rika's father and her being sad about it and whatever, like, that's not real. And, yeah.
But it's such a plausible thing.
It is.
I mean, everyone's free to do what they want to do and to believe what they want to believe and ignore stuff that they want to ignore. But, like, I think if you actually only thought of things like this as single creator visions, that would be much more narrowing and limiting than you think.
It's also just not true.
Well, yeah. But if you were to be like, okay, like, this show changed showrunners in season 2, therefore I'm only going to watch the first season and a half. Like, I think, but there are things like that would, like, you wouldn't realize that they changed showrunners or whatever. And so even though it's a flawed theory, even if you were to apply it as a practice, I don't think it would be practical. Because, yeah. And sometimes things change creative vision for the better.
No, change is always bad. It's bad. Change.
Like, I mean, our war game feels like it has a very different creative vision than Adventure.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
And that had a different writer than the main scriptwriter of Venture. I guess it's just
Yes,
that
it did.
maybe the reason, maybe I'm kind of straw manning here because I don't think it's that this had a different writer. It's that Kanaka wasn't consulted at all for this movie, which does feel weird for him to have written the series. And while his series is still airing, have a movie that's like he's not consulted on at all. That seems weird
That's
to
a
me.
little weird.
Yeah, I don't really understand how the mechanics of that.
It's a little weird, but I don't think that makes it not canon.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it would be a stronger movie if it had taken things from the series into better consideration. Sure, but fine.
I mean, what is the importance of something being canon anyway? We've had this discussion before.
Yeah, I guess we have. I guess I just feel like there's never a conclusive conclusion. I should have found a synonym for that. There's never a good conclusion. I never feel like I've had a good conclusion to that discussion of how much canonicity matters. So I've always just come away from it being like, it kind of matters, it kind of doesn't. I don't really know whether it does or doesn't. Sometimes I feel like it matters a lot. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't matter at all.
That's because, like many things, it's subjective.
Well, sure, but like even my subjective take on it varies a lot, fluctuates.
That's pretty normal for a subjective thing anyway.
You're a subjective thing.
I am. It's true.
You're subjunctive, actually.
Sure.
What does that mean outside of grammar? Does it have a meaning outside of grammar?
I don't think it has a meaning outside of grammar.
I should also just address the last point that Sam Kuragamon had, which was which movie is better and why. And I think we all are pretty much in agreement that this is the worst movie by far, and Battle of Adventures is the best movie ever, right?
No. This movie's the best. Wait, what did you say?
I was being sarcastic, actually. Yes, I think we all agree this movie's better.
This movie just had a sense of, like, whether it was canon or not, it had a sense of fun about it, and again, it followed the main characters, so that you're like, yes, at least we're having fun with this weird nonsense.
And I feel like it was fast-paced enough that even things that weren't fun were over pretty quickly, whereas the first movie felt both slow and not relevant, and slow and jam-packed with stuff, which is a weird combination. Doesn't seem possible, but it is. I guess it at least proved that theory that you can make something that's slow and packed with too much stuff. I guess I remember watching it. I don't remember thinking it was slow at the time, but looking back compared to this movie, it feels slow because this one's just so fast.
I wanted to talk about motivations and how Tamers, you're really, really trying, but you're doing it all wrong.
Yes.
Why? Dear God. Right. So, like, in this movie, we're presented with Rika has sad feelings about her absentee father, who we are told, at least in the dub, that he is alive somewhere. She could see him sometimes. So, like, these feelings make sense to me. I'm like, yes, I would love to explore these feelings with Rika, but just, like, this movie is not the place. The way this movie is executed is not how we should do this. And I mean, it's the same thing with how we complained about Rika and Rio, where it's like, okay, Rika has a reason to be all angry and, like, hate him and hate all the sexism that she deals with and, like, blah, blah, blah. But it's never brought up, and then, like, Rio shows up, and she's like, oh, yeah, I hate you all the time. And you're like, wait, what? Like, why didn't she say that before? And I'm just like, all these things normally center around Rika, and I'm like, Rika, these are the things that the show gives her so much character that it's just like, but I don't know what to do with it. Just like, And then the opposite effect is like, there's a villain here that's completely unrelated to Rika's drama, except that it, like, brings it out of her by possessing her. But I'm just like, why? What's up with Parasimon, or however we're supposed to say it? Like, why are you here? Why do you want to take over, like, the show? It just doesn't care. Just like, why?
Is that so different than Diaboromon wanting to take over everything from any villain in Digimon being like, I want to take over everything?
But see, like, Diaboromon manifests as a computer virus that spreads, and that seems to make a lot more sense than a parasite that takes over a train. Like,
well, he was using the train to bring more of him over.
Right, in that sense, it was like a biological virus. It was just spreading, and
But it seems a lot more, that seems a lot more like a thought out, premeditated plan that requires more motivation than I am going to take over this and this and this and this.
It's true.
So
it's like, like the motivation seems to be like, I just want to spread and grow and whatever. But also I have one of my, bodies has this really elaborate plan that feels super sentient, I guess. I don't know. It feels weird to say the other ones aren't sentient, but they do feel like they're just, virus.
They're a little less put together.
Yeah, and it's just like at the point where you don't make anybody's motivations to do things, when you don't actually explore them in proper ways, I'm just kind of like, how did this become a story about Takato saving Rika?
I don't think it's about Takato saving, or I don't think it's about Takato at all. I think it's just Takato is the convenient plot device mechanism vehicle. It's like...
I feel like this movie isn't about anything. It's not about anyone in particular.
It's about trains, Ash.
It's not even about the train.
You're so distraught by it.
That's a good pull quote. It's not even about the train.
It was derailed before it started.
Believe me, the Softman brothers would have been much more interested if it was actually about the train. But yeah, like, motivation.
Motivation, do it better. Yeah. I mean, it's just also like, okay, Jerry wants to throw Rika a party, but like, then they don't interact at the party. It's always interacting with Takato. Her mom doesn't try to comfort her at all, even though Rika's like clearly despondent. I'm just like, why?
So that idea of Jerry wanting to throw Rika a party is like super compelling to me. That seems super sweet. And I missed it happening in the movie. I feel like it should at least have been...
Wait, did you miss... We had to tell you that?
Right, yeah. Like in the beginning of the episode, you mentioned that. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I didn't know what happened. But, like, cool. And it's just like, things should be... sure, I wasn't paying the most attention to the movie because I was also writing notes. And, like, that's inevitable and all the time that I watch Digimon or whatever. But, like, I still feel like that is a failing of it to miss things like that. And... to get a little bit more screen time to things that are really sweet like that. But my theory is they just had so many moments like that they just want to shove in that they had no time for anyone, and they all suffered for it.
Well, I guess the other thing is that, like, okay, Rika, I guess because Takato had to be a decoy, like, has the conversation with Takato about how Jerry wanted to throw her a party. And then also when Yamaki calls Rika gives the phone to Takato, and you're just like, what's happening? Like, why? In the Japanese...
Wasn't she frustrated with Yamaki, and she was like, oh, you talk to him?
Okay, in English, she definitely has a line where she's just like, it's for you, or something.
Oh, yeah.
But in Japanese, she doesn't say anything. She just picks up the phone, puts it to her ear, and then hands it to Takato. I'm just like, what?
That's so much better.
So
at least you can read into that, and like, she's like, oh, adults. Ugh,
adults. Ugh.
What reason do any of them have to distrust Yamaki at this point?
Yeah, that was super weird. And
exactly.
It was also...
Now Rika distrusts all grown-ups. Yeah.
That also, like, the movie trying to focus on Rika, I feel like really undermined, showing her dad, whatever, and showing her feeling of her dad, sure, that's sweet and everything, but, like, showing her, like, hate all adults or hating Yamaki because she's thinking about her dad, that just feels like, what they say, character assassination. It's just like, that's like a really condemning thing to portray someone as. That's like a really, I don't know. I don't think Rika would be that short-sighted, and...
She loves her grandma.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
She's an adult.
Can't trust anyone over 13.
Yeah. But she's an old adult, so that's fine. I don't really have anything else to say except, like, I really like everything that in concept Tamers threw together about Rika and all her drama back with Ice. Like, even with Digimon and Ice Devimon getting possessed and, like, all these things, they're all there. You just, like, didn't synthesize them correctly, Tamers.
Yep.
It's just so upsetting. And leads to sexism, so please don't do that.
平線まで飛んで行け羽をもらった雪たち 強く大きくなるために僕も走り出そう
So, I was intrigued because Parasimon, whatever.
I really don't know how to say it.
Whatever it is, Parasimon.
Yes,
That'd be
exactly.
easier.
Let's just call it Parasimon.
Because is it a he? Do we know? It shares so many similarities with Digimon we've seen before, like Diaboromon, who is very similar, exists in a movie, that sort of thing. And they could have done so much because it seems to prey not... I'm pulling up the Digimon Wiki article on Parasimon. Parasimon. Oh, that's interesting. Or Seimon?
You're looking at Japanese pronunciation?
I'm looking at the katakana to see how they pronounce it. If it helps at all, it doesn't seem to. It says, it is a special Digimon that can't survive without leeching off of other beings, even though it is a mega. Parasimon is powerless when by itself, but when it gathers in numbers, it can easily defeat champion Digimon. And remember, it's a mega, so like, okay, big deal. When Parasimon leeches off of another Digimon, it can draw out the host Digimon's abilities to their utmost limit, exhibiting a terrifying power. Also, it can amplify the host's desires, and it is capable of taking advantage of those weaknesses. The existence of parasite Digimon types other than Parasimon has been confirmed, and the influence of parasite Digimon, in addition to viralization, is considered the cause of berserk Digimon. And, I mean, typically, parasites don't benefit their hosts in any way. Like, that's the difference between a parasite and a symbiote. But if it's...
Science!
But if it's powering up its hosts, that's fascinating. I would have loved this guy as an actual villain in the actual show, so we could have explored that more.
So when you say, like, parasites, are you talking about in nature or in media?
I'm talking about in nature.
Okay, because I was saying in media, I feel like this, like, thing that causes you to go berserk but actually increases your abilities while you're berserk is, like, super common, but... It's
super common, but I don't think they typically call it a parasite. There's the show Parasite, which I would also not clarify, well, in general, I guess those aliens were parasites because they preyed on,
Yeah, but like there were a couple relationships in the show that had symbiotic relationships.
The eponymous... If we're going to throw around fancy terminology here, the eponymous parasite was not really much of a parasite. He was more of a symbiote.
Is it really eponymous if the word you're referring to is spelled one way and the title is spelled a different way?
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't think there's rules about that. So yeah, I would have liked to see like what it could draw out of Rika for real. Because Rika's not a Digimon, but it still managed to feed off of something she's got. And it made me think about... Despair! It makes me think about the relationship also between humans and their actual Digimon partners that are not stealing... Oh, but are they stealing their energy and also benefiting you and giving you more power?
I mean, I think the Digimon-human relationship is... the definition of a symbiotic relationship. I
agree, but I also think that Parasimon's thing is not strictly parasitic either. We just don't like it because it looks creepy.
It has spider legs. It has more
Spiders are your friends!
No.
Spiders eat bugs.
But they are the scariest bug.
Yeah.
Spiders eat bugs. They are not the scariest bug. There are much scarier bugs in the universe, let me tell you. Much rather have spiders.
No, don't want to think about it.
I could talk about bugs all day. I used to have a tape, and it was called I Want to Be an Entomologist, which is a scientist who studies bugs.
Why would you ever want to be that?
I never really wanted to be an entomologist, but it was a fun tape. So I just wanted to play with the idea of, like, what's the difference between the human Digimon partnership and what Parasimon is trying to do.
Well, it definitely is hijacking, right? Like, even when
there's a definite power problem there.
But, like, even if it's supposedly for what the thing that's being hijacked or parasited or whatever wants, like, Trailmon wanted to Locomon wanted to loco, and Rika wanted to sing, or whatever. I have frustration with that. Like, that's what the desire that it pulls out of her is her desire to sing, which is like a random thought she has in that like random moment or whatever, instead of it being anything that fits with the rest of her characterization. But
right. That was a little weird.
What if it had been about her being like, I want to be the Digimon queen. I want to like not have Rio in my way, and then it was about her fighting Rio because she's like, I need to take down Rio. That would have been amazing.
Or maybe it's trying to make a statement that what she really wants deep down is just to sing and be loved and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's boring.
Boo.
But even when it pulls out those desires of the characters, if you can really call Locomon a character, anyway, it's still like it's a twisted desire. You know, like, it's not like what they
talk about
want.
Character and setting in the same place, right, Locomon?
Yeah.
But yeah,
and plot device.
Yeah, it did pull out weird things, and I wonder if because in Tamers, the Digimon partners that are drawn to specific Tamers, and it's not like assigned by anybody. They sort of choose to make that partnership happen, except for Guilmon, in which he was created to make that happen, which you could say is even the stronger draw, literally, since he was drawn.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there. So it makes me wonder about what having certain Digimon might bring out of people. Bring out of their Tamers, I mean. Like, having, what does having Terriermon bring out of Henry? It brings out his cuddly bunny side that he doesn't get to show, because he's always got to be...
His snarky side, I think, actually it does.
Big brother. The snarky... Oh, I don't think he ever needed that brought out. He kind of always had that going on.
Well, we've only seen him... We've always, they were already a thing before we met them, really.
That's true. And I guess we'll never know, because we never really see any of them before they're... Well, except for Takato, for like a second. Oh, and no, but we got Jerry and Kazu and Kenta, too.
Yeah, I feel like they don't get enough time to really see stuff pulled out of them.
I think Jerry was starting to.
Yeah, that's true.
Kazu became a much better person after Gargemon happened to him.
Yeah, I guess I never made that connection, but I guess that is just like, I always thought it was timing-wise, but I guess you could say that you could argue that that's because of Gargemon's influence.
I mean,
you could also argue it's because of random, switching out of writers.
Yes, and he was just magically different, but sure.
Right. You could also argue that it's sloppy writing, and I would agree with you, but I'd like to pretend that maybe there's some meaning. This is my job, pretending that there's meaning in things.
But I think that, one big difference between the Digimon and Parasimon and they're like what they're pulling out, whatever, is that Parasimon pulls out one desire and they just execute on that one desire. And whereas like the Digimon human relationship, whenever it pulls out, it's not like they just coexist, and like it pulls out things. There's not just one thing, and it makes sense that they manifest in completely different ways. Like I think ever focusing on just one desire, one goal or anything is unhealthy, and that the way this movie portrays that is kind of neat. It feels like a stretch to go from Rika being like, I must sing. She doesn't try to sing. She's just like trying to hit people with a wrench, She says she wants to sing, but there's no real attempt to try to sing.
She actually sings.
Maybe that's why I remembers of her singing is like she just holds the wrench over them and is like, I'm going to sing now. And we just didn't see
it. Maybe Takato did sing with her and we just didn't see it.
Nothing can top Kazu and Kenta's song in the bath, though.
No,
Singing
nothing will ever...
in the bath.
Nothing will ever top Joe and Ty back in Adventure.
So now we're going to watch some ads that are related to this. So this is the ad in Japan for, I guess it's the trailer for this movie. And I guess it probably was what was shown in theaters to advertise the like Toei block this was part of. So here we go. Ooh, Japanese. One Piece.
Are you trolling us right now?
No, it's part of. So the first half is it's what for One Piece and Digimon. And then, so that bit was One Piece.
And then.
So this footage is showing it has nothing to do with it. There was it looked like Greymon's foot or something.
Growlmon?
No, it's Growmon's foot.
When is Growmon? This doesn't happen.
What is happening?
Yeah, what is happening? And then it just says the year when it's going to it's like, what? Oh,
Yeah,
there's
that
more.
made perfect sense.
There's going to be a bit more. There's also some One Piece before we get there.
最強の力を授かるという
Oh, wait, is this for Strong World?
たどり着いたのは謎の秘宝が眠る王冠
Some
島
nice Japanese pop thrown in
仲
there.
間とはぐれたチョッパーは
I was hoping you could recognize the movie.
その島の王になってし
Yeah,
まう
yeah, I remember this movie.
Oh, I think it's the chopper one.
バトラー一味から
Yeah.
動物たちを守るんだ
一緒にいるだけが仲間じゃね
Why is there a movie about Chopper?
極悪非道なバトラーたちにルフィの怒り
Why
が
is there a movie
爆
about
発する
Chopper?
Because Chopper's great?
Are there ever movies about one
映画
character?
最新作ワンピース
The movie is not actually about Chopper.
Oh, okay. Okay, now here we go. Digimon. Train.
えこいつを止められるのは僕たちしかいない
ルフィの隠された過去が今明かされるついに進化は究極体を迎えた
映画最新作デジモンテイマーズ放送デジモン特急そして
And then-
大地上へ夢のサッカー王
Can we get an Ask Podigious about how we felt about the movie shipping Rika and Takato or something?
I did not feel that.
I don't
feel that
remember
either.
that, but I guess maybe a while ago we did. Yeah, I didn't feel that
wasn't
either.
a
But we
while
did
ago.
we did get that question. We did get that question.
It was like last feedback episode, and we were like, well, we haven't watched that movie yet, so we're not going to answer it.
Well, by the time this comes out, it'll be a while ago. So that trailer was a thing. It was kind of just rapid little scenes. It was fine. Nothing to make fun of about it though. So it's a shame there weren't any Fox. I couldn't find any, like UPN, not UPN. Where did it air? ABC Family, wherever Disney aired it. Couldn't find any ads for that. So now there was one ad that I tried to show in 311 that we had technical issues and everyone couldn't hear it. So I'm glad we can share it now. And this is just about Digimon in general.
This summer on Fox Kids, Digimon is turning up the heat!
Well, it's not the heat. It's the humidity. Yeah, I prefer a dry heat, really.
Digimon all summer with all the blazing action. No humidity. Watch Digimon.
Blazing action, no humidity. New
What?
catchphrase.
What is the perfect answer to that? Yeah, perfect response.
is none.
Blazing action, no humidity. Next biggest hit.
I guess that would have aired during the summer, like the last summer that Fox Kids had the right for the show and kept showing reruns.
ビガビガビガすれば信じられなきゃ瞬きしてる切なに消えるよ心の標的そらさず走れ全ての力ぶつけよう
Stray Bits, this is where we talk about things that we forgot to mention before, didn't fall into any other category. My first thing is I am so glad we got the return of Guilmon being all...
Hi, in a box.
Yep,
In a box.
that's good.
In my notes, I wrote, when older Rika starts singing, I wrote, I can see why Disney acquired this now. This song is very Disney movie.
Let's do new Digimon. Anyway, first new Digimon, Locomon. Locomon's a thing.
It's a train.
It's a train. There,
Steam train.
am I recalling correctly? In Frontier, there are like several different kinds of trains, right? There's like Locomon and Trailmon.
They're all Trailmons.
They're all
They were
Trailmon.
all train.
Oh, so Locomon's just in this movie? Oh, well, that's weird.
And Cross Wars.
So I just can't remember what it was, but there's on the Digimon Wiki page for Locomon, there's a like goof fusion from Digimon Fusion / Cross Wars that is Locomon plus Darulumon, and it's just like Darulumon's head as wheels on Locomon. It's pretty funny looking. The next one was Grand Locomon was so unnecessary. It was literally just like
Yep.
Or like, do they just want to advertise, like have a second toy they could, or like have a transforming toy and show off that it could transform?
Probably.
I kind of thought they would. Yeah, I don't think they would actually make a train toy like that in Japan. So it was just strange. It was just like, this train is even more train now.
This train is even a more hardcore train now.
Like, it was still going towards the portal or whatever. Like, it wasn't chained. Like, it wasn't. They weren't even fighting the train at that point, were they? Like, it was no purpose.
No.
It was just random stakes being raised, stakes that no one was trying to eat. And the last one was our BFF Parasimon, which I guess we already talked plenty about.
So weak.
So weak.
So
I mean,
spider.
I think that's kind of cool to have like the, big villain, this kind of thing, be so weak, but, threatening through other means than just being a strong thing on its own. But
Yeah, I kind of liked it. But it was still a weird, silly setup.
yeah.
And I don't like his design that much.
Yeah, no. I think it's cool in practice when it's like invisible and like creeping on people and stuff. But this
when it was all
design,
ribbons and stuff, that was cool. But when we actually saw it, I was like, eh.
Yeah, meh. One moment I thought was really interesting. I thought it was really cool. They included it was in the Japanese version too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I watched that part without subtitles, and I was like, oh yeah, I understand what it's saying. But it's when Gallimon goes into Crimson mode, and everyone's just like, whoa, it's so pretty. And like for the first time we get, because we had so many moments of people saying that Dalmon and Sukuyamon were super pretty, and it's like, oh yes, talk about how the boys are pretty too. That's cool. Tip that gender imbalance a little bit back to equality. Did we talk enough about Rika's daddy issues?
She has them.
Yeah.
It makes sense that she has them.
And there's nothing to work with.
Yeah.
I was frustrated they came out of nowhere, and that I was like, was it prompted by the surprise party or was it not? But
if it wasn't prompted by the surprise party, I thought it was at least prompted by her birthday. Like, the fact that it was her birthday.
I guess that makes sense, too. I guess it just feels... I'm okay with things being not fully explained like that, but to have it be such a big focus and for it to come out of almost nowhere, that combination, I think, I find particularly frustrating. I also want to read Kanaka's notes specifically on, like, what he thought about Rika's dad, since I think that's, like I mentioned before, often brought up as, like, a thing that he didn't foresee it this way, so they're ruining his vision. Anyway, so Kanaka said, Rika's fatherless families. This is from his notes about character development, and it's specific on the Rika page, which I have a link to in our show notes. Rika's fatherless family is not something I set up as a huge plot point. As I researched urban elementary schools, I discovered a trend in the past few years that there were many single-parent or fatherless families. Her rather twisted personality is not in any way based off of her lack of a father figure. It's kind of weird to say her twisted personality. That seems a little mean. Maybe that's something lost in translation or something. Anyway, in the spring of 2002, there was a Digimon Tamers movie titled Runaway Digimon Express, which is Runaway Locomon in English. I was not consulted on this feature film, and so any inconsistencies between this and the TV series in terms of time and setting are inevitable. However, the director of the movie, Tetsuharu Nakamura, was also an assistant director of the TV series during the third story arc, and the screenwriter, Mr. Hiro Masaki, was also a regular writer for the series. They paid a great deal of attention to the psychological aspects of the series when completing the movie. Personally, I am very grateful to them for boldly illustrating the parts of Rika's family life that the TV series never explored. I can't tell how much of that is just like, I have to be polite in public, or... Right. Yeah, so...
I feel like plenty of it was explored in the series, but not explicitly ever about her father, and then just bringing this weird singing stuff into it is like, no.
Yeah, I appreciate his original vision of, like, having her father not be there, but not be, like, that big of a deal to her, but I also think it makes sense to have his absence be important to her, even if she doesn't need to be defined by a father figure. I don't know. My last thought was just the frontier music, hearing that in the dub version of this movie is just still super weird. Like, especially weird in this movie because of the Locomon stuff, and it's like, oh, we're dealing with trains and we're hearing frontier music, and no, okay. Not
but
frontier.
Like, they actually leave in some of the lyrics about spirit evolution. I'm like, isn't that
that was a little weird.
Specific?
You did, yeah.
Huh.
That was there.
As we I was like, but spirit evolution is an actual thing in Frontier, right?
Yes,
like,
it is an actual thing. That is the mechanic by which they become Digimon.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't happen here. I guess they were like, biomerging is close enough.
I think they probably didn't notice that was still audible in the song.
Yeah.
No,
全て始まりそれが答えだろ誰より遠くへ飛んでみせるよ全ての明日を貫いて
RGG, ridiculous dialogue draft, where we each go around and pick our funniest, most ridiculous, or most touching line from this movie. It was so short, so we're only doing one. But they're all pretty good, I think. So it'll be good.
And your opinion is the only one that matters, because I'm Asher McDonald. La-di-da.
Exactly. Asher completely disagrees, but I think he was just not actually paying attention to this movie.
Wait, that may be true.
Is anyone picking the RD the quote with Roger?
No.
Because what the hell was up with that? I don't want to pick as my RD. I just want to be like, that should have been an unanswered question. Do you remember the line where it's
yes, I do remember the line.
For listeners, it's when Takato says, like, he's talking to Yumaki and he's like, we'll leave it to you, Roger. And he says, we'll leave it to you, Roger. Great news, Yumaki's got a plan. And then Rika's like, so who's Roger? And she's like, what? Like, she's mad at Yamaki, I guess, for being an adult or whatever, but like, and then she's like, well, who's Roger? And like, what is that? Like, and then,
That was super
oh
weird.
my god, it was super
And then
weird.
he's like, it's too complicated to explain. I'm like, no, it's not that
I think he says like it's a lingo thing, and then she's like, well, whatever. man, I'm
Right,
still
yeah,
mad.
right.
Like, why would you be mad about who brought? Like, oh my god, it's so awkward, so bad.
Mine is from the beginning of the movie. And again, it's more the way it was delivered than anything else. But it's random dudes at the Office of Transportation, I guess. And everything's going wrong. Oh no, there's a runaway train. And one guy is like, the main guy, the manager guy is like,
Are you joking? I don't have a sense of humor, sir.
he's just so serious. And I was like, yes, you clearly don't. I love you.
And then it comes up later in another
It does
joke.
come up again later. And I was like, I still love you, man. You're my favorite.
If Ashley were choosing the RGG clip, she would have chosen the like entire 10 minutes of the movie between those two jokes just to get both in.
No. Shut up.
So mine is when it's after Henry has picked up, he has Lopmon by mistake, and then he has to like swap them. So he's on the train with Gargimon and people, and like leaves Lopmon behind, and then picks up Terriermon. And I guess he just says to Lopmon,
Here's your stop, Lop.
Yes.
like what? It's like comes out of nowhere.
He wanted to have that
that
Rhyme?
Rhyme.
inline rhyme. Is there a better phrase for that?
It's, yeah. What's it called? Crap. Isn't it called inside rhyme or something?
Maybe.
Something like that. Interior rhyme.
Oh yeah, interior rhyme.
I'll go with the end of the movie with Susie's song.
Oh, God.
Which goes,
I am Princess Pretty Pants, and don't you tell me I can't dance.
and then I didn't actually understand the last thing. I guess that can be included too.
I think the last line, she went back to her pretty pants, and I think I got
Yeah, I think it
uncomfortable
was,
for some
like,
reason, and I
Because
didn't write
I'm
it down.
Princess Pretty Pants or something.
And don't you tell me I can't dance, 'cause I got pretty pants.
I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the continuation of what Ash picked, because there was another joke in it.
Okay.
Because Andrew is Ash Part 2.
Technically.
So after the guy says, "I don't have a sense of humor, sir," the other guy is like,
This could jeopardize the whole system. Shut down all the remaining lines. Why now? On the day before my transfer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that.
I was like, I groaned at the cliche.
I did really like the moment where Henry's, when Susie's complaining that she doesn't want to walk, and Henry's like, I can be your train for a while, and then he's like, Terriermon, and then Terriermon's like, all aboard. And then Henry just looks at Lopmon and is like, you too, and then Lopmon's just like, sorry. Just like, back off.
It was really cute. It's true.
It was great. Also, when Rika says, I'm not laughing in the very beginning of the movie, when she's talking to Chikado, I was like, are you TK's grandpa?
I'm not laughing.
Wait, where is that? I don't think it was TK's grandpa. I think that was... Where is it? It's in here somewhere.
I don't know who it was. I thought it was his grandpa.
You sure it wasn't his grandpa?
I thought it was like Michael's dad. No, because they couldn't speak.
It's definitely TK's.
I think it was TK's Yeah, that guy.
You're kind of funny.
No, it's not that.
Here it is.
It was just a joke, sir.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah, it was definitely TK's
Yeah,
grandpa.
that's
Or
TK's
grandpa.
grandpa.
Yeah, because Ty was the one saying it. Recommendation Articulation. This is our segment where we plug things we want to hug that we've been enjoying recently or just in general and want you to enjoy if you enjoy our sensibilities. So my plug this week is for something I've already plugged before, but I'm plugging it again because the episode that I plugged it still hasn't aired yet, and I am just want to plug it even more. And I've been watching more of it. It's Jane the Virgin. I'm in the middle of season 2 now. I think it was in the middle of season 1 when I plugged it before. And it's still amazing. It's still really good. There is a character that in the beginning of season 1, I was like, this character is stupid and annoying. I don't like any of their scenes really. And now I'm like, they're the heart of the show. And them just smiling almost makes you cry. And I did actually cry when they did something. And the show is really great. It's like better than we deserve as a society. And go watch it because it's amazing. Ashley, you go next.
Fine. I will plug the anime for Tales of Zestiria.
You don't even like it that much.
It's not an amazing anime, but now I haven't even watched all the episodes that are out, but it has successfully done its marketing job of making you want to play the games.
But you don't want to play that game, you want to play a different game, right?
Well, it's confusing because it merges two games. Like, it merges a prequel for Tales of Zestiria into it, and I'm like, wait, those characters seem dope. I definitely want to play that game. But I mean, it's also like in this anime season where there's not that many standouts. Like, it's a pretty fun generic fantasy romp that's not garbage like Sword Art Online and stuff. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. I will plug The Get Down, which is on Netflix. It is I guess right now I would call it a mini-series. There's 6 episodes out. They are each about an hour and a half.
No.
Yeah. So the director is Baz Luhrmann, who did Moulin Rouge and The New Great Gatsby, and some other stuff that Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, some other stuff that I don't remember right now. But it's about the beginnings of hip hop in the Bronx. And, it's really, really good. The representation is great. The actors and performers are super, super skilled. And I was really confused during the first episode because I didn't realize it was a Baz Luhrmann production. So I was like, wait, are they actually like dancing randomly now, like in real life? But then I figured it out. So the first 6 episodes are out. The next 6 episodes are coming out sometime next year. And, I don't know how those are going to go, but the first 6 episodes leave you with a really good feeling. So, if you like music, if you liked Hamilton, you'll probably like this.
You can find the full show notes of this episode by going to podigious.com/314. You can leave us feedback in the comment section on the site, or you can let us know your thoughts on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, Reddit, email, With the Will, SoundCloud, YouTube, Skywriting, Foreboding Prophecies, or Color-Coded Smoke Signals.
There are also lots of other things you can do for next week's feedback episode. Rate the movie and vote on your favorite RDD clip on the show notes page. Leave a voicemail, 90 seconds or less, answering our question of the week.
Who do you think Parasimon should have possessed, and what would they do?
You can either call 913-CALUMON if you're in the US, or send an audio recording to podigious@gmail.com. And don't forget, you can always leave a review for the podcast in iTunes for us to transgarble.
Podigious is made possible with the support from our awesome Patrimon: Amanda Angelomon, David Graumon, Eric Angemon, Jack Santa Agumon, Joe Keto, Justin Blaine Davis, Kai Lunamon, Kaiser Washi, Sam Kruagamon, and Stevie Patamon.
If you want to support the show on Patreon, you can get some cool rewards, like access to our private Slack chat group for $1 a month, monthly stickers for $5 a month, and early episodes for $10 a month. Reaching our next goal will allow us to make podcast episodes about movies related to Digimon, like Summer Wars, so check out patreon.com/podigious to help us out.
Want to make a one-time donation to the podcast instead? Our PayPal is paypal.me/podigious. You can find the link to PayPal and our Patreon on podigious.com.
You can find Podigious on Twitter, Tumblr, or Facebook to keep up with the Digimons and get funny images and GIFs related to the show. If you don't like how we pronounce GIF, I don't really care, but you can bribe me with money by becoming a Patrimon, so you can vote on how we have to pronounce it. You can find me on Twitter at AsherMcD00. Asher.
You can find me on Tumblr at Asher Dashery.
Jeff, where are you?
I'm running low on battery, but I am definitely Jeff on Twitter.
Andrew is Phantom Cellist F.
Phantom
on
Cellist
Tumblr.
F. Yes.
Yes, and Andrew, it's awkward to explain, but yeah, Andrew had to leave in between recording this outro segment and the rest of the episode, which is why he mysteriously disappeared for the outro. Anyway.
Our Ignatius Impmon artwork is by Digimon Tamer. She's Digimon Tamer on Twitter. Share the podcast with your friends who gotta keep running, but don't share the podcast with your friends who gotta keep singing.
And join us
next week
for our final Tamers retrospective episode, plus lots of extra try stuff in the meantime. Bye!
Bye!
And remember, never stop digivolving.
全て始まりそれが答えたのはラピザピがすいません速力で未来も今も駆け抜けろ
Okay, so since we're choosing a Locomotion-inspired title, we needed to watch the video, the Kylie Minogue 1990s. Actually, it wasn't 90s, it was 88, but to us, I definitely remember this as a little baby listening to this.
You remember this as a little baby.
I don't remember the video, I remember the song somehow. Like, I was probably like 3 or 4, not baby, but anyway. So you can see it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's so
Oh my
good.
god, so nostalgic.
Come on, baby, do the locomotion.
This has nothing to do with trains.
No,
What are you
it has
talking about?
absolutely nothing.
I'm
No,
not
it's
sure
a
this is the
train.
version that I know.
Because
Oh,
I'm
really?
pretty sure the version we know is one of the earlier ones.
I think you're right.
Possibly the original.
Come on.
Jeff and I do not listen to
locomotion
old
with
things.
me. I definitely remember like a lady with dark curly hair in an actual conductor or no, engineer outfit.
It might be the Carol Kane version.
Maybe.
I hope Kylie Minogue goes back and watches this occasionally and is just like,
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't
What was I
actually
Looks like a
doing?
great workout. So come on.
I think this might seriously be one of my first like
locomotion
memories,
with me.
like actual memories.
Kylie Minogue singing the Locomotion.
I mean, not her specifically, but the song. And
No, it's way better if it was Kylie Minogue singing the Locomotion. It's hilarious. Look, there's a train.
Come on, baby, do the locomotion.
she's wearing clothes that she could wear on a train if she were a passenger. She's wearing... No, it's not it.
Why is she like wearing a motorcycle outfit to go on a train? I don't understand. This brand new dance from the 1960s and the 1980s. Yes.
It's weird because this isn't like particularly child friendly. This is just a random pop song.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the one I'm used to is Lil Eva.
It was used in a lot of children's programming that they just like
Oh,
redid
it's in
it.
children's things?
Yeah.
Locomotion. Come on, do the locomotion with me.
Well, Little Ava wasn't in Doctor Who, so
Come on.
pretty sure they don't
Who
exist.
cares?
Really, what we should do to accurately reflect the dub release schedule is wait 3 years before we release this episode.
Little baby sister can do easier than learning your ABCs. So come on.
Come on. Do
There's too much
the-
lag for us both to sing, Andrew.
Too bad. What's the best train franchise?
How does this movie rate as a Thomas the Tank Engine movie? I've seen better Thomas the Tank
It
Engine
could
movies.
pass as one.
I don't
Nothing
know.
out of the ordinary.
There's humans in it. That's kind of weird.
No, it's not.
It's a little weird.
Okay. Stingmon is not in this movie.
Ash, they animate the humans now.
Weird.
Actually, they've been doing that for like 7 years now.
Weird.
I thought you meant Digimon. I was like, yeah.
Because everything is CGI and cheaper.
Bullseye, baby!
Takata agrees.
Is this how it ends? Messing with motivations and Parasimon Potential. Parasimon? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Is that how you pronounce
Parasite.
it?
Parasite.
Parasimon?
Parasimon.
Isn't it Parasimon?
I
Yeah.
don't know. Fine.
I mean, it's weird because it sounds too much like Paris, the Pokemon, once you like cut off the T.
You do realize Paris is a parasite, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I get
but-
it.
No, I think we meant the city.
Oh, no, I meant the Pokemon.
Oh, I heard the city.
I heard the Pokemon.
They're the same thing, really. No, sorry. Just, Angie, what's the first car in a train called?
The first car?
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's called the first car.
I'm your conductor, Jeff Ruberg, and I'm joined by what?
Engineer.
I'm joined
Engineer,
by I'm joined
Ashley
by
McDonald.
train car Ashley McDonald.
What? No.
Where's the train?
We are the train. The podcast is the train. I'm the conductor.
No, where's the engine? I mean the engine.
The engine is just part of the train.
Make Ashley the engineer. Andrew can be the ticket taker. And I'll be...
Ashley can be the caboose.
I don't want to be the caboose. Thank you.
That's the only other train part I know.
We're not train parts. We're people. I can be the person that owns the cat that takes care of the rats on the train.
Okay.
In the end, everyone joins up for some good old-fashioned parasite eyeball hunting.
That's gross.
It was gross, though. The animation was all like, I'm going to show you the guts of the... I'm like, why are you doing this?
I have Western accent for some reason.
Wasn't that Locomon with the accent? Not.
No, Parasimon also had it.
Yeah, they were. Those voices were weird.
Yeah.
They're all just weird. And Locomon, I thought, just sounded like Elvis.
Yes.
But
Was Locomon Metal Edamon's voice? Because like, yeah.
Probably.
I was like, that's just Edamon, who is Elvis. So this is weird. This is getting weird.
So apparently this voice actor was Puppetmon in Adventure.
Oh.
So no.
Just
it's not
Puppetmon.
In Adventure, just Puppetmon. There were also a Zulongmon and characters. And TK's grandfather.
Those are very, very different voices, actually. That's a talented actor.
And a character I don't remember.
All right, A++.
Wait, who's this character I don't remember from the first movie? Oh, it was the grandfather from the first movie, too. The, Kai's grandfather.
Oh, the first Tamers movie.
Yeah.
What grandfather in the first movie?
I like how, so there's a Digimon Wiki page for, it's just like, I guess, miscellaneous Tamers characters. And it has this really, really brief entry on Kai's grandfather. It just says, like, Japanese voice actor, English voice actor, and is Takato and Kai's grandfather. Wait, they have a shared? Oh, wait, is this a shared grandfather?
Because they're cousins.
But it makes sense, but I never thought of it as being Takato's grandfather, too. Anyway. So it's like, the information says he's their grandfather, lives in Okinawa, he believes Guilmon is a dog. Like, that's his full profile.
Yes, I mean, accurate.
That's all you need to know about him, really.
Yeah. Oh, boy. On the other hand, like, Henry's mom gets, like, one more sentence. Actually, no, it's the same number of sentences.
I think the grandfather has just about as much screen time as she does in the entirety of Tamers.
Yeah. Because I assumed that what it would be like you finish a series, now here's some more to tide you over for the summer. But
that would mean it would be airing during Frontier.
Right, that's the thing I forgot about, that in Japan, these aired, once Tamers ended, Frontier started the next week. So there was there's no gap like there was for the US.
Always keep them trains running, yo.
Yeah, I mean, so
I'm actually really excited for Frontier.
I'm too. I spent one night like organizing how the episodes would break down, and since then I've just been like, it's gonna be so much fun.
Well, you should not have expectations, Jeff. I say I'm looking forward to it, but I also don't have expectations.
Jeff, you're still doing it wrong.
Feels like a double standard.
It is. But it's because you are constantly disappointed while I am not.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't wait for all the villains that I actually care about.
Really?
Was that sarcastic?
They have more personalities than the Deva.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I remember them having lots of personalities. I don't remember if I'm going to like them, but I do remember lots of personality existing.
Yes. Lots of personalities exist.
The only Deva I ever cared about, I think, is Vajramon.
I thought you were going to say Antilamon.
Well, out of the villains.
Wait, the sexist bull one? Vajramon?
At least he does something.
Yeah, he does crappy things.
Ash, why are you watching that thing instead of watching Jane the Virgin?
Because it looked interesting to me and was relevant to what I like.
You should watch Jane the Virgin.
I'll think about it, I guess.
I don't think I mentioned it
either. The more you tell him to do it, the less he's going to want to do it.
It's true.
Stop now.
I don't think I mentioned in either plug how much, like, a bad name it is. And how good it is despite the name.
Jane the Virgin?
Yeah.
You think that's a bad name?
Do you think it's a good name?
I mean, it doesn't seem like Cougar Town levels of bad.
Is it Crazy Ex-Girlfriend levels of bad?
No, it doesn't seem that bad either.
I think it is, because it's not about, being a virgin or not being a virgin. It's about life.
But, like, is she actually a virgin?
Automatically turned off life.
What?
Okay, well, is she still a virgin? Like, are you in season 2 and she's still an actual virgin or no?
Why does that matter?
Because that determines whether it's, like, at least, like, Cougar Town just never felt like it was about cougars anymore.
Oh, no, it never was. It was about cougars, like, 3 episodes, and then never was about that again.
Exactly, so is she still a virgin or not?
Okay,
it matters.
Yes, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, technically, someone on the show pointed this out, and I'm like, is this a real thing? But they were like, if you give birth as a virgin, like, doesn't that break, like, that they are no longer a virgin? Yeah. So, like, I think technically her baby broke her virginity, or took her virginity, but...
I don't think that's... No.
Is that a thing?
I mean, I think you can break your hymen doing a lot of things that are not sex.
It is true.
And that would never clarify as, like, losing virginity anyway. But I also don't think like what a baby does to a virgin birth is like a really researched area.
Because
it's not a thing that.
It's not a common thing, certainly.
I can't imagine why.
I mean, I guess I also probably thought, like, I may have thought that the show, because the show does have a lot of like Christian, I don't know the word, like, not, like the characters are Christian, but like it's not like she is artificially inseminated accidentally. It's not like and she gets religion. She gets like a
artificially inseminated accidentally.
Because she goes in for a pap smear and the doctor gives her the wrong thing and she's asleep while she. So, yeah. So. And then she like.
Don't you really want to watch it now?
No, I really don't.
It's a soap opera / telenovela.
That's really not my.
The characters are so endearing and they're also lovable. And
Jeff, I feel like you're using all the wrong words.
Characters and lovable.
I mean, I like lovable characters, but also like that is so not my thing.
Soap opera?
Yeah, I don't watch those.
I mean, I don't think it was my thing either. The closest thing I watched that was Gossip Girl.
I never watched that either. I would never watch that.
I thought I would never watch that too until Ashley forced me to.
I didn't force you to do anything.
Okay, until Ashley forced me to watch it independently and not let her know that I watched 2 seasons to catch up with her and then surprise her with it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I forced you to watch the rest of it.
Also, I mean, like the main character is trying to be a writer and.
Sounds depressing.
The depictions of her in grad school just seem so. I'm like, I guess there are creative writing programs in grad school, but
yes,
like
there are.
But like they depict it as just she goes to school to get feedback about the book she's writing, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
That's actually pretty likely.
Oh really? Anyway,
what was it? I wasn't paying.
She goes to grad school to get feedback on the book she's writing. That sounds like an MFA program.
That sounds like an actual thing.
Okay.
I mean, things that you write in your MFA program, I think if you're actually good, I guess, get published and stuff. But the things that she writes don't sound like the things that you go to an MFA program to learn how to write.
She's like into writing romance.
Right, exactly. It's not the type of thing that you don't go to an MFA for that.
I also just feel like they don't. I mean, they illustrate this like her new in the most recent episode I watched. She has like a new advisor who like looks down on romance as a genre. But I don't think they ever like
because all MFA programs would look down on that.
Right. Like, I think that's would be like a common thing. And it's like weird that it's just brought up now and that like. I was like, I think that should be super common. You deal with like literary people who are like, oh, romance.
That is all that MFA is literary people.
Yeah, like there are no MFAs for like genre fiction. Like they're gonna force you to be like, but why doesn't this have like 5 layers of metaphor to it? And you're like, because I just want to tell a fucking good story, okay? Like you just hop off. Like,
I like metaphors a lot, but also
stories are good.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you should. I mean, I think you can tell pretty much from the first episode whether you like the show or not, because the tone is pretty apparent early on. So it's not like something you have to watch for a while to know if it's good or not. You should at least give it the first episode a shot. Anyway.
Are you like, oh my god, I get to go to school and have a life again?
No, I'm like, God, why can't I have another month of summer? Except it was way too hot here. Way too hot.
Isn't it still hot?
It's okay. It'll get cold really fast now. I feel like one day in September you'll just be like, no, it's cold.
I usually last till at least October, actually.
Oh yeah? Do you want to talk about how it snowed in October that one time? Brown?
Was that the time that we went trick-or-treating? I mean, it wasn't snowing when we went trick-or-treating, but I remember it was really cold that year.
Wait, you mean the time I was there for trick-or-treating?
We went trick-or-treating multiple times, so I don't know.
There was one time we went trick-or-treating and I went as Ash, but I think I went as Ash both times we went trick-or-treating. And
yeah, so this isn't helping.
But one time it was really cold.
The time I went as a Game Boy with
I remember
Pokemon
that.
Yeah,
I drew it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you drew it, yeah. It was really well drawn,
I think, weren't we really cold by the end of that night? I don't know.
We might have, it might have been that time.
The time it snowed the time it snowed in October, yeah, was the year I wasn't there because I was in Connecticut and I lost power for like a week.
Oh.
Yeah.
What year was it?
That was senior year where the snow happened.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was like the only thing I really remember is that I had to play a soccer game, like had to work at a soccer game when it was actually snowing. And I was so oh my God, this is terrible. Why is this happening? It was really cold.
Wait, okay. So do we have any better voicemail question ideas? Or do we really want to go with any of these?
Do you have a song that reminds you of someone? Sing it for us!
Sing us songs! Do you like the locomotion?
Or, what if, Parasite... Oh, God, we can't use that one because we can't pronounce Parasimon.
No, we can just say Parasimon, and y'all are gonna know who we mean.
If Parasimon parasited you, what would your I wanna sing, I gotta go fast be?
Yeah.
I don't remember what Locomon said.
That's
like I gotta keep...
I want to keep running.
Oh my
Right.
God. I won't keep running. Ugh.
Yeah.
I like the funny question proposed. I feel like the answers would not be
Wanna run.
very funny. They'd just be like, I like this. I like that.
I'm trying to think of a funny question because I just want ridiculous answers. It's not really working.
What'd you think about Takado's little tamer?
No!
What if I just said that without clarifying, without any other mention in the episode of what that meant?
No!
Why does Takado get a little tamer and not Henry? And then
Stop!
Just,
Nobody wants to see either of theirs!
Who drew no, let's not even go down that path.
You're the one going down all the paths, so...
I've been sitting way too long on my collarbone. Or is that the thing that's at the end of your butt? That's where the tail will be.
Tailbone?
Tailbone.
Yes.
Wow! I was like, why are you sitting on your collarbone? How are you sitting on your collarbone?
Oh boy.
Are you lying down in the closet with the computer sitting on your collarbone? That doesn't seem...
I thought it wasn't
practical.
so obvious. Like, it's like tailbone is so obvious, you know?
No. Literally where our ancestors had tails.
Oh, ancestors, why did you put tails there? That's so silly.
There are also lots of other things you can do, right?
Yeah, what do
Do.
You must do.
Them.
There are also lots of other things.
So, given what we learned from episode 311, I think this is how you actually have to read the names. You ready? Come on.
Come on. No. Amanda, I can't. What do you want me to do?
Go.
You have to arrange it first so that it flows right.
Come on. Get ready for the second verse.
Wait, what?
Amanda, Anju. Oh, it cut out there.
Wow, you epic failed now.
David, grab my
If you can't do it,
Eric Antimon.
you can't do it.
Rapido, Justin, Blaine Davis, Kyle Lunama.
Oh God.
Just don't. Just let it go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think if we arranged their names in such a way, like we prepared which rap we were going to try to do it to, and arranged their names in a way that made any sense.
The point of rap is to be freestyle. Like, I mean, not all rap, but freestyling is a thing too. You can't just be like, oh, it's impossible with freestyle.
I'm
no.
not a rapper.
Debatable.
In what way is that debatable? She doesn't choose to identify as a rapper.
I have never, in fact, rapped.
You know, this is a biological thing, not an identity thing. She was born a rapper.
Oh,
Born a rapper.
I see.
No.
I think the main thing holding back is that if we had a karaoke version of the song, but like speaking over the voices is also really hard.
Yeah.
So it adds another level. Bye.
Bye.
And remember, never stop digivolving. I totally forgot to say that last episode, or 311. No, it was really annoying.
You forgot to remember to never stop digivolving?
Yeah, what?
Okay,
Jeff.
I'm gonna go. Bye. Sorry, this went super long.
Digivolve your differences.
Digivolve your
Digivolve them
differences.
always.